You got any advice for entry level folks who are trying to get into the industry?
Yeah, I have actually I have a few tips and tricks that they can do. One of the first things is obviously if you can afford it, if you can do it, I'd say get a formal education somewhere like WGU. It's very fast paced, and you could just go through it. You don't need it though. I make an emphasis on getting an education because it is a small step in the door. Where a bachelor's or an associate's or a master's degree, it gets you the interview. That's just the truth of the matter. The other things that can get you the interview are things like your CompTIA Security Plus and Network Plus. I don't really favor the A pluses much because I feel like if you're interviewing for a tech position, you probably already have A plus knowledge. So Sec Plus, Net Plus are kind of a must. I remember when I was hiring back at Threatlocker, it's one of the things we look for. You having your Sec Plus, your Net Plus, those are just certifications that are just solid. Just show that you have a pretty good foundation in cybersecurity. The other thing is projects. Depending on what you want to do, like do you want to get into programming, then like if you want to be a front end developer, build a front end app. If you want to be a full stack developer, build an entire website out. If you want to, be a red teamer, build a red teaming tool that people use, build a community, post it on Reddit, talk about it with other people. You want to be a blue teamer, then build a SOC, build a SIEM, and then just demonstrate it through a project. Oh, the other thing that's very important is sometimes people try to shoot for the moon from the start. I started out in the support role. And although not everybody has to go through it, it's a good start. Just starting off in help desk can get you just, your foot in the door. And if you really have that experience, the people that are your company, if they're pretty good at seeing talent, they'll notice it and they'll say, hey, you're not meant to be here. We got to move you up somewhere else. So that's a really good thing. Sometimes we need to start in help desk. You need to humble yourself and just start at a lower role. And that's okay. That's some of the things a lot of us have to go through. Don't always apply for remote roles. Sadly, although cybersecurity and tech is really moving towards that remote, work from home landscape, it's not always the case. And 9 times out of 10, you'll probably have a better chance of finding a job just somewhere locally. So just find startups, find companies that are local. They might be willing to take a chance on you because there's just not a huge pool of candidates that are in your area that have those skills. So definitely, maybe your first job just has to be, on site. And I've been seeing it a lot with the newer guys that are coming into tech, especially cybersecurity. A lot of their jobs are moving to Texas, they're moving to Florida, I'm moving to California, and I keep seeing on site, on site, on site. So maybe that's what you need to get that first role is just go into an on site role that's near you or in another state and just starting through that route. And obviously, like I said, post your work on LinkedIn, on whatever platform you may be. If you want to build a YouTube channel, you just want to, a journey of how you started in cybersecurity. It's just like it adds to your resume because when somebody looks through your resume, it only says so much. But if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a GitHub page, if you have LinkedIn posts, then that just shows that you've been doing this for a long time. You've been dedicated, you've been consistent, and that work speaks, it speaks numbers for what you can do for an organization. It's a clear indicator that you're going to be pretty good.
Great advice. Listen up, folks. Are you involved in any meetup groups or did you go to conferences prior to the RSA?
Yeah, I've been to a couple B-sides. I went to HackerSpaceCon. I will continue to go to HackerSpaceCon. That is one of my favorite conferences. I might be at Black Hat, depending on my availability. So I'll definitely go to some of those meetups. Beforehand, I wasn't going to much meetups other than just like your B-sides. But B-sides is a really good place to, find people are looking for analysts and for other roles. So it's definitely a good place to start. B-sides is really good.
Agreed. Yeah, B-sides in North Carolina is coming up. Plan on going to that. But yeah, I mean, to your point, be open to on-site jobs. As a recruiter, you're right. The lion's share of jobs now are going to be at least hybrid. So if you're entry level and you're only open to remote gigs, wow, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You got to be open to going on site. It's going to benefit you as well to learn from your peers and just be around the space. You're going to learn much faster that way than just being cooped up in the house. Save that for when you're later in career and know exactly what you're doing. When you can do your job with one arm tied behind your back and a blindfold on, then go be a remote
I agree with you.
employee. But yeah, help desk is a great place to get your foot in the door and to try to go above and beyond to succeed. Because when you're on the help desk, right, it's the speed of the tickets that you can handle and the resources that you can utilize to solve the problem without escalating it to tier 2 or 3, right? And if you start to be the person that can answer all the questions on tier 1, right, you're going to get a promotion to tier 2, And then from there, you're going to either go into some kind of networking, systems engineering, cybersecurity. It's a launch pad.
Yep.
So definitely encourage folks to, you might have to be in a support role, right? You might have to do help desk. You just might have, even though your ego won't like it, you might have to do it. So
Yep.
just do it.